Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you know about rational and irrational number? Any idea? I'm playing a video on that. You are able to hear the audio?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Welcome to Icse Help YouTube channel. Today the topic is rational number for ICSE class 9 mathematics. It is the first chapter and representation it on number line and injured rational number between two rational number. We will discuss this in detail. First of all, rational number. Rational number. There are many topics. First of all topic is terminating decimal. What is terminating decimal? A terminating decimal is a number in which after dividing remainder is 0. Such that if 2, 4, 6 divide by 2, then remainder is 0. Remainder is 0. Hence, it is terminating decimal. If there is no remainder left in any number, then it is known as terminating decimal. For 16, 8, it is also known as terminating decimal. Hence, the terminating decimal is very easy. If remainder is 0, no remainder is left, then it is known as terminating decimal. But there are some other type decimal in which no remainder is
Why they have attached this video in your school? Okay, no problem. So what he's trying to say is explaining about the terminating decimal. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So terminating decimal in the sense, for example, you take any number, for example, you take 220 or something. If you are dividing this by 2, 220 divided by 2 will give you the quotient as 110. And you will be left with the remainder as 0. So this 220
Yes,
is known as the terminating number.
Yes, ma'am.
You're getting it? That's what he's trying to say.
Yes, ma'am.
something. Second point is repeating decimal. Repeating decimal. Repeating decimal. Repeating decimal is also known as recurring decimal. Recurring decimal. Repeating or recurring decimal.
Please note it down. Now he is saying about repeating decimal or recurring decimal. Repeating or recurring. Do you have any idea about this? Do you have any idea about repeating decimal or recurring decimal?
No, ma'am.
Recurring decimal. If we divide a fraction and the result is coming same after many trying, then it is known as repeating decimal, such as 1/3. If 1 divided by 3, 0.033 9, 1033 9, 1033 9, and so on. So it is known as repeating decimal. This repeating decimal can be written in second design 0.3.
See what he's trying to say. Recurring decimal or repeating decimal is nothing but this kind of decimal exists when decimal number repeats forever. It repeats forever.
Yes, ma'am.
Decimal numbers repeat forever. For example, you take 1 by 3. When you divide 1 by 3, I mean 1 is lesser than 3, so you will keep a decimal point and you will include 0. 3 3s are 9, you will have 1 as the remainder, again you will add 0. Again 3 3s are 9. You subtract this from that, 0, 3, 9, again 1, 0, 3. Are you getting it? Are you getting what I'm trying to say?
Yes,
So you'll be having this 3 forever, like 0.333333 like that. The decimal never ends. Okay, in your quotient the decimal never ends. So that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
known as repeating decimal or recurring decimal. Please note it down.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So you know what do you mean by terminating decimal? Terminating decimal means the remainder will be 0. Repeating decimal or recurring decimal means in your quotient the decimal never ends. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is a fraction in which the denominator is decimal fraction is a fraction in which denominator is in the form of 10 or 10 to power x, where x is natural number. Like example 243 divided by 10 result is 24.3. 247 divided by 100 10 to power 2 result is 2.47. 18956 10 to power 4 result is 1.8956. This is no.
I hope you are getting this. Now he is teaching you about the decimal fraction. So decimal fraction means always the denominator of your fraction will be in the form of 10 or 10 power x. This x is natural number. Natural number means you can substitute any values from 1. So natural number
Ma'am, could
starts
you
with
repeat?
1. Now he's talking about decimal fraction. Okay. So in the
Yes,
decimal fraction, you will always will have the denominator as 10 or 10 power x. I will teach you with the example. You will that might help you to have a better understanding.
yes, ma'am.
So x is nothing but it's a natural number. Natural number means you can substitute any number from 1. You can substitute 1, 2, 3, 4, any value you can substitute up to infinity, like 1,000, 10,000, 1 crore, whatever. It could be anything, but it should start from 1. Okay, so that is natural number. So your denominator can be 10 or 10 power x. So meaning is, in case if you are taking this as the fraction, like for example, he gave 243 divided by 10. You can call this fraction as decimal fraction. Why we can call this fraction as a decimal fraction? Because the denominator is 10. And 243 divided by 100 can also be called as decimal fraction. Because what is 100? 100 is 10 square, isn't it? 10
Yes, ma'am.
square, 10 power 2. 10 into 10 is 100. So you can call this 243 divided by 100 as decimal fraction. And you can also say 243 divided by 1000 as the decimal fraction. So what is 1000? It's 243 divided by 10 power 3. Are you getting it? So it's 10 into
Yes,
10
ma'am.
into 10. That is 10 power 3. So you take any fraction, when the denominator is 10 or 10 power x, you can call this kind of fraction as the decimal fraction. Okay. So this cannot be decimal fraction. The denominator is not 10 or 10 power x. This cannot be decimal fraction. This cannot be decimal fraction. Are you getting it?
Okay, yes, ma'am.
Getting it? So to be a decimal fraction, the denominator is supposed to be 10 or 10 power x. Okay?
Okay, yes, ma'am. Yes,
Please
ma'am.
note it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Please note it down along with the example.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You're noting, you have noted everything
Yes, ma'am.
about the decimal fraction. Okay. Okay. So could you please explain what and all we have learned so far? I want you to explain what do you mean by terminal, terminating decimal. 1 minute. I'll write it. I want you to explain in the order. Terminating decimal,
I'm not too sure about
repeating.
the first one. I know repeating or recurring and decimal fraction.
Okay, you please stop me and ask if you don't get it. Okay,
Yes,
feel
ma'am.
free to ask doubts.
Yes, ma'am.
Decimal fraction. Okay, you just tell me from for the repeating and decimal, no problem. I'll explain the first one.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, go ahead.
So a repeating decimal is like say it.
You can use your own words. You don't worry about your proper definition. You just tell me what do you know about it.
So like when you do a division and the same number keeps repeating, like 0.33333,
Mhm.
which keeps on repeating forever. That is repeating
In the
or
quotient,
recurring decimal.
in the quotient,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
So that's your repeating decimal or recurring decimal. So you
Yes,
take
ma'am.
the fraction as 1 by 3. When you
Yes,
divide
ma'am.
1 by 3, you are getting that 0.33333 forever. So that
Yes, ma'am.
kind of fraction, that kind of decimal is known as recurring decimal. Okay.
Yes.
What do you mean by decimal fraction?
That is like the denominator is 10 or 10 raised to the power x.
Yeah. Like it could be 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000,
Yes,
1
ma'am.
lakh, 1 crore, like that.
Yes.
Yeah. Good. Very good. So terminating decimal is nothing but you will get the remainder as 0. You know what is remainder, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
For example, in case if you have a fraction like this, 242 divided by 2. So you will put the numerator as the dividend and the denominator as the divisor. And when you do division, you will have 121 as the quotient, isn't it? You will have 0 as the
Yes.
remainder. So
Yes.
this kind of answer is known as terminating decimal, 121.0. 120
Yes, ma'am.
1 can be written as 121.0. So that is terminating decimal. So the remainder is supposed to be 0 to be a terminating decimal. And always remember, your numerator will be inside. Like that's your dividend and the denominator will be your divisor.
I'm not too sure.
Sorry?
Not too sure.
You're not very sure
Yes, ma'am.
about the terminating decimal.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll give you some more example. No worries. For example, you take 100 upon 5. You just check 100 is your dividend and 5 is your divisor. Do the normal division. 2 5s are 10 and 25s are 100. So
Yes,
subtract
ma'am.
this 100 from that 100, you will get the 0 as the remainder. So this 100 by 5 is known as terminating decimal. Terminating decimal. So it's 20.0. 20 can be written as 20.0. Because they're saying it is decimal, isn't it? Decimal means you need to
Yes,
show
ma'am.
the decimal point. So 20 can be written as 20.0
Okay, yes, ma'am.
or 20. 20 itself fine. 20, 20.0 both means the same. For example, you take 300 divided by 3. So when you divide 300 by 3, what will be the
Yes,
quotient?
ma'am.
What will be the quotient?
For 300 by 3,
Yeah,
100.
100. Good.
Yes, ma'am.
It is 100. So 100 times 3 will give you 300. So when you subtract this 300 from that 300, you will have 0 as the remainder. So this 100 is your terminating decimal. 100.0 is the answer for 300 by 3, isn't it? So these are the example for terminating decimals.
Yes, ma'am.
So I hope it is clear. So we discussed about terminating decimal, repeating or recurring decimal, and also decimal fraction so far.
Yes, ma'am.
With the video again.
Known as decimal fraction because there is decimal in the result and important in fraction is a fraction if denominator fraction vulgar fraction
Vulgar fraction.
vulgar fraction vulgar fraction the vulgar fraction is a fraction if denominator is not in the form of is not 10 to power x. If denominator is not in the 10 to power x, that is known as vulgar fraction. 246 divided by 17, 305 divided by 29 is the vulgar fraction. And the next.
Are you getting what he is trying to say? So he is explaining about the vulgar fraction now. Vulgar fraction. Meaning is the denominator is not 10 power x, it could be anything. Like you take 242 divided by 3 or 242 divided by 9 or 242 divided by 9, 190, 242 divided by 17. You take 900 divided by 13,
Yes.
888 upon 165. Okay, so these denominators are not in the form of 10 power x. Okay, so if the denominator is in the form of 10 power x, 10 power x means x is natural number. It could be 10, it could be 100, 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, like that. That is known as decimal fraction. To be a vulgar fraction, the denominator shouldn't be 10 power x. Okay.
Okay.
Please note it down. Note it down along with the explanation, your own explanation.
And vulgar, the denominator should not be 10 power x.
Exactly.
But it can be 10.
No, it cannot be 10 because 10 power 1 is 10. Cannot be 10.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Rational number into number line. Representation.
Presentation.
And the next point is
1 minute here.
not the rational number. 3 represent in the form.
Okay, now he is going to explain about rational number.
What is rational number? Rational number. A rational number is the number which can be represented in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not equal 0. Any number 2 upon 3, 1 upon 7, 10, 12, 17 is also rational number because
10 is 10 by 1, 12 is 12 by 1, 17 is 17 by 1. So the rational number can be represented in the form of P by Q, but Q cannot be 0. Okay? Q cannot be
Yes,
0.
ma'am.
It can be anything except for 0. Okay? So
Yes,
2 by
ma'am.
3, 2 by 100, 2 by 1000, 2 by anything. You take any number, that is known as rational number.
its denominator is
Yes, ma'am.
1. Hence, Rational number can be demonstrated in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not zero because Q is denominator. And the next point is injured representation into number line.
Ma'am, just 1 second. Could you please excuse me for
Into
1 second?
number line.
Ma'am, could you excuse me for a minute?
Sorry, I'm muted and I'm talking. Yes, yes, please.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, Aaron, I can hear you. Please note down this.
Q is not the form of P.
Yeah. Put the heading as rational number, right? A rational number can be expressed in the form of P by Q, where Q is not
Yes.
equal to 0, which means the denominator shouldn't be 0. Write few examples for that. So your chapter 1 is all about rational number and irrational number.
Yes.
So this is the introduction video.
Yes, ma'am.
Done writing?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have question 1 about insert a rational number between 2 upon 9 and 3 upon 8. Arrange in descending order. So let's learn about the number line representation first, and then we can solve the question number 1. I think you are clear with the ascending order and descending order concepts, right?
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
learn about the fraction representation on the number line.
Yes, ma'am.
Hence, rational number can be demonstrated in the form of P upon Q, where Q is not 0 because Q is denominator. And the next point is injured represent the rational number into number line. Representation of rational on number line. First of all, you should draw the number line. You know there are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and so on. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, -7 and so on. And if you want to represent the number 5 upon 2, then find out the value of 5 upon 2. The value of 5 upon 2, 2, 1 upon 2. 2, 1 upon 2. It means 2. And 1 upon 2. Denominator is in 2. So, it is 2 upon 2 is more than 2 and less than 3. You can know. The 5 upon 2 means 2 upon 2, in which 1 upon 2 is more than 2 and less than 2. Hence, the value should be come between 2 and 3. So, there is 2 and there is 3. But after 2, value is 2. It is divided into 2 parts because denominator is.
I hope you are getting what he is trying to say. So now he is talking about the representation of rational numbers over the number line. I'll do it in the whiteboard. So this is your number line. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
assume you have 0 here, and you'll be
Yes,
having
ma'am.
the positive numbers on your right hand side. It goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. And in your left hand side, it goes like -1, -2, -3, -4, like that on your left hand side. For example, you take 5 by 2. Yes, this is rational number because this fraction is in the form of P upon Q, isn't it? Where Q is not equal to 0 because here the value of Q is 2. So you can call this 5 by 2 as the rational number. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So we are going to mark this 5 by 2 over the number line. So he was doing, he converted that fraction in the form of a mixed fraction. You don't have to do it. You can simply convert
Yes,
this in the form of fraction. 2 twos are 4. The remainder is 1. Keep a decimal point, include 0. 5 twos are 10. So 5 by 10 means it's obviously 2.5 only, isn't it? So 2.5 means it lies somewhere between 2 and 3. You getting it? It's greater than 2 and it's lesser than 3. So which means over here you will mark it as 2.5, which means 5 by 2. So the 5 by 2 rational number will come here. Understood? Please tell me if you didn't get it. I will explain again.
Ma'am, could you explain again?
I will explain with the another example. For example, assume you have maybe 7 by 2. What is 7
Yes,
by 2?
ma'am.
Can I say 7 by 2 is 3.5?
Yes, ma'am.
2 3s are 6. Remainder is 1. Keep a decimal, include 0 and 5. 10. The remainder is 0. So 3.5 is the
Yes.
quotient. That's your answer. So where you will mark this 7.7 by 2? 7 by 2. Now they're asking you to represent the rational number on your number line. So 7 by 2 is 3.5. 3.5 means definitely it lies between 3 and 5, isn't it? It lies between, it's greater than 3 and lesser than 4, which means you will mark it over here. This is 7 by 2. Understood? Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
See, it is 3.5. So 0.5 means you will mark it in between 3 and 4. That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
So between 3 and 4, you have 3.1, 3.2, 3.3, 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, 3.9. After that, you will have 4.0. Are you getting it? So you'll have this many numbers in between 3 and 4. So 3.5 means it would be the middle, 0.5. So 5 is the middle one. So which is why I marked in the middle between 3 and 4. So this is representation of rational number.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Imagine you're having 1 by 4, 1 by 2, maybe 3 by 2 and all that. Okay. So now we have to
Yes, ma'am.
represent this in the form of over the number line.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you have 0 here, 1 here, 2, minus 1, minus 2, plus 3. So like that. So we drawn the number line. So 1 by 4. What do you mean by 1 by 4? 1 by 4 means you will divide 1 by 4. So obviously 1 is lesser than 4. You will keep a decimal and you will include 0 here. 2 4s are 8. The remainder is 2. You will include another 0. 5 4s are 20. So you will have 20. So it got terminated. So it's a rational number. You have 0.25 as the quotient. So 0.25, 1 by 4. From here to here it is 1. So 1/4 means you have to divide this part 1/4. This is one portion, second portion, third portion, fourth portion. I hope it is clear. So 1/4, 1 by 4 means you will have somewhere here. This is 1 divided by 4, which means 0.25. Okay. And 1 divided
Yes,
by
ma'am.
2. What is 1 divided by 2? We'll keep a decimal and include 0. 5 2s are 10. So it's 0.5. Okay. So 0.5, 1 divided by 2. What do you mean by 1 divided by 2? It's half. Right. So half means this portion divides this into 2 equal halves. So you will mark it here. So this is half. 0.5 will come here. Do you understand this?
Yes, ma'am.
So then you have 3 by 2. This converting in terms of decimal is kind of hack. Okay. You can convert it in the form of a decimal and you can check where you have to mark the rational number exactly. So 3 by 2 means it's 3 is a dividend and 2 is a divisor. 1 2 is 2 and you'll have device remainder, keep a decimal, include 0, 5 2s are 10. So you will have 1.5. What do you mean by 1.5? 1.5 means it's in the middle. It's greater than 1 and lesser than 2. You will have 1.5 over here. So here you will have 3
Yes,
by
ma'am.
2. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is how you will represent the rational number. Please note it down.
It is compulsory to make it into a decimal.
It's not compulsory to make it into a decimal. If you can't convert it into a decimal, it would be easy for you to guess. Because 3 by 2 means how will you predict where
Yes,
you will
ma'am.
represent it? 3 by 2 means you will be wondering whether I should mark it over 3 or 2. So when you divide it and if
Yes,
you
ma'am.
find the quotient, so 3 by 2 is 1.5. So 1.5 means definitely it is just check the real number lies between before and after that. It is greater than 1 and lesser than 2. So definitely you will mark somewhere in between 1 and 2 only. Are you getting it? So when you get
Yes, ma'am.
0.25, 0.25 is greater than 0 and lesser than 1. Similarly, 0.5 also it's greater than 0 and lesser than 1. In case if you're having 2.5 as the answer, if you're having 5 by 2 as the rational number, 2.5 would be your quotient. So 2.5
Yes,
means
ma'am.
where you will mark it should be greater than 2 and it is lesser than 3. So definitely you will mark it over here. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
So which is why I'm asking you to convert in the form of a decimal. So when you find it, when you solve the fraction in terms of decimal, you can easily predict the real number lies between I mean, lies before and after to that exact answer, you can easily mark it.
Yes, ma'am.
Please note it down. Please note it down clearly.
Yes, ma'am.
Noted everything.
Yes, ma'am.
I think we can stop here. Do you have any doubt in
Yeah.
today's session?
No, no.
Okay. So we discussed about the terminating decimal, repeating or recurring decimal, decimal fraction, vulgar fraction, and we also discussed about the representation of rational number over the number line. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope everything is clear. Please revise it when time allows.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, dear, you can take leave.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.